of the round 4 of Grandmaster Triathlon has just finished with a victory to German Grandmaster Vincent Keymer. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Quite a long game, quite a long conversion.
Yeah.
How do you feel yourself?
I mean, now it's good, yeah, that I won. I mean, if I didn't win the good position after such a long game, then it's very different. But now, you know, it was all worth it for sure.
Maybe you could share about us about the opening, your preparation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect from him because he ended rapid, he played b6 as well. So I decided to say, okay, if he plays d5, I will go for the Catalan, but not the main line, but to play knight c3 here. And yeah, I mean, what he did is basically, I think, the main approach if you just want to equalize, go to this end game, and then, of course, you have to be precise. But as always, you know, if you analyze it well, there shouldn't be any issues. And yeah, when he started thinking here, I was kind of happy, yeah, because like if he blitzes out 3 more moves, I would be kind of, yeah, hard. Take, and yeah, I think now like c3 makes sense in any case, bc3, and then he can take either on e3 or on c3, which both should be fine. But basically, I think the idea is, let's say, take, and then in general, you just have to decorate that. I mean, on d5, I can never win the pawn back. Yeah, this doesn't help me, but let's say I have like bishop c5 and e4, so black still needs to be accurate, and maybe this is what he didn't like. But of course, after knight c6, I was happy to see that, yeah, I mean...
Was there any b5 idea?
Okay, here, I think b5, maybe I have a4.
And if f6 and b4?
Yeah, might be. I mean, I didn't remember everything.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe, okay, I don't know, like if I just go back. I'm sure those are complicated lines, yes?
Maybe very dangerous because of the bishop. Yeah.
But for him, it makes sense to not play b5. Yeah, I would say like c3 would be a reasonable safe choice, and then either to take on c3 or e3, maybe on c3, and just try to give this pawn back somehow and make a draw. But yeah, I mean, knight c6, knight c4, I think he just accepts that he's kind of worse. And yeah, then here I had like the huge discussion with myself to play rook fd1 or rook ac1, which might look like it doesn't really matter, but yeah, as we saw in the game, after rook d1 there's b5. After rook c1, I thought bishop d7 is possible. And I was trying to calculate this, like knight d6, b6, rook fd1. And now, okay, I'm starting to take. If he just goes passive, I will have a great position, but there's this knight b4 move, a3, and bishop a4. And suddenly, like, all pieces are in. I was trying to like knight f7, king f7, rook d4, all kind of very complicated lines, but I was not too sure about this. And then I decided to play rook fd1 because I saw that after b5 I have this bishop g5 idea, f6, knight e3, and yeah, I think this position, like if I would get here, it's pretty bad for black actually. I mean, material is fine, yeah, 2 pieces against rook and pawn, but just the coordination of his pieces are pretty bad here. Okay, I thought bishop b7 might be the best move, and now either I go rook d1 or I can also just take here. And yeah, I mean, I was thinking about knight d4 also, but I think in general just the idea is, okay, I will not defend this pawn, I can't, and I will just go f4, but this knight will never have an actual square, so I'll always gain tempi, and also I have already 2 pawns, I mean, I will lose e2 and then 2 pawns, and I was very confident that I have winning chances here, so I kind of understood that he went back knight c7. But okay, for me it's also nice, yeah, I see I can take and play bishop d2, and I will for sure be better, probably much better. But yeah, then what I did in the game, I kind of lost track, yeah, I wasn't punishing him immediately, and then he got his solid setup, and it was incredibly difficult to break through. So, yeah, bishop d2, f5, bishop
In here, this line, would you like to check the...
Yeah, I mean, I just saw that there was this idea, but for some reason, I mean, I didn't really believe, but yeah, of course, I somehow didn't go far enough to see that I'll just exchange everything and go on the c file. And yeah, I think practically there are great winning chances here for sure. That's would have been a nice idea. I was deciding between bishop d2 and also e4, like fg5 ed, which also looks extremely dangerous. Rook b8, d6, and I will keep this pawn. But I was not so sure about how to win this. And okay, then I said that he was also getting low on time, and here it's like he has many forced moves, and if I don't do anything, I will just not win, yeah? So that's why I played bishop d2. And yeah, I think f5 was a very good move here by him, because that's, at least from a practical point of view, yeah? Because if this is the only square he has basically left, and if he loses this one, it would have been really difficult for him. And yeah, I mean, of course, I can basically play e4 at any point, fe4, bishop e4, which I probably should have done earlier, because in the game I kind of waited too long because I wanted to make some smart moves, which weren't that smart. So yeah, I mean, rook d4 is still, I think, very much fine. Also, rook e1 I can play, but then here I should just play e4, yeah. like this, king f7. Okay, I mean, it's very tough to win such a position, but I'm sure white is better. I think that shouldn't be like the question. But it didn't feel that much already here, yeah? So I think what he did was pretty good. And then, yeah, what I did here, I mean, it was just...
too much.
Not really helping. One more. Yeah, okay, so I went... h4, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, okay, it's more of a rating move, but now already after e4, he always has this knight f6 ideas. I'm not sure it's too great, because of course I can take d7, f5, and b7, and then go with something like rook e6 or rook e5, and I should be better, but I thought it's not so easy. So I waited even more, but I think this was the very wrong direction here. Now bishop c6, yeah, was a good move. And again, e4, knight f6, and if I don't play e4, it was kind of tough for me to find the plan, because after f3, e4, then he will always take and go knight f6, and I didn't really open anything up. This is why I made some kind of weird moves, hoping that he would play like king f7 at some point, because then suddenly e4 would work, because here I always have fe6 with check, and I win a pawn, so he can't, then would have to take on e4, and I would get the slightly better structure. But yeah, he played all of this kind of well, I think. Rook d2, bishop b7, and also it was annoying for me, because he was very low on time and he could just blitz out all the moves, and I was not really doing anything. Actually, I was planning to play e4 here, but I missed knight e3, which was kind of unpleasant. At least I realized early enough to play rook e1, and I think for him probably to play knight f6, I'm pretty sure it's not a very bad move, but from a practical point of view, I think he shouldn't do it. Because then at least there's danger. Yeah, this is the position where I feel like, okay, something can go wrong, and okay, still, yeah, it's basically only one weakness on a6, which normally isn't enough, but I'm also not sure whether he should exchange one pair of rooks. This was also a huge question for me, but okay, I understand that he felt like this should be kind of an easy draw. And here then, okay, I mean, I can't do anything immediate, so I tried to improve the position. And also for him, I think the most unpleasant thing is that like he has to decide, whether he just wants to stay or try to get out somehow. I mean, there are ideas like b4 connected with knight c3, but of course, if you're low on time before move 40, this is a really committal decision, and it could just lose the game. So knight e7, I think was normal. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't go to d6 immediately. I thought I can, sorry. I can go to b8, but then there's rook d7, rook d6, and now then he's completely out. So yeah, rook d6, okay, now I had to do it, and rook d8, which, okay, it's not very nice, but I think actually, like, this lost tempo helped me a lot to win the game, because I think if he just leaves his king on f7, it will be extremely tough for me to do much. Just put the knight on d5, and then this bishop is dead, and I think his huge mistake was
huge mistake to bring the king
let
out.
This bishop get back into the game, because then suddenly now he has the second weakness on g7. If I don't have the bishop, g7 is never really weak. And then here, exactly after move 40, I already felt that there might actually be very serious winning chances, because he can't really defend everything. Okay, here we went back one time. Actually, I have the feeling that I went to the wrong square, because I was trying to figure out to go to c3 or to b2, and then, because let's say e5 and rook a8, knight c5, then it's a different way I want to have the bishop, and I think actually with bishop on c3 here I can play h5 already now, and now he has absolutely no move. Because let's say king c6, then I'll have rook a8, king somewhere, and rook e8 back, and e5 is not possible to defend. I mean, I just saw that like something like this should be good for me. So, but I don't know, I just, at some point I thought it doesn't matter, and I thought then at least bishop on a3, maybe there will sometimes be an attack, but I realized that actually, let's say I do the same here, and then he has b4, and he's cutting this bishop, so I was kind of angry that, why did I play bishop b2? And then I had to, I mean, b4 already here was an option, but this was very complicated, like b4, rook a8, knight c5, rook b8, I'm attacking this guy, and now rook d8 check.
Did you think that this position looked similar to Yu Yanggi's game from yesterday against Bogdan
Not really,
Daniel?
because yesterday he was at first at least a pawn up, but those pawns were like much more solid. Now he like they're on two sides to play, which is why I have much better winning chances than he had yesterday, I think. And then here it was very tricky. So I understand he played e5, h5. This. I mean, at first I thought I can just make a waiting move. This was very interesting. Let's say he goes knight e6, yeah, because of course he wants to develop the pieces. Rook a7, threatening rook d7, which would be really bad. Knight d4, rook g7. And okay, at first I thought he will go rook c2, I can't defend e2, and it's a huge problem. But actually here I have rook g6, rook e2, king f1, and he can't defend the mate on d6, which is very beautiful. But then I realized that maybe he will play a5 here. And let's say now if I take, the same motive won't work anymore. And this is then why I kind of couldn't play what I wanted, yeah? Because bishop would have been so nice to just say, okay, you have no move. But yeah, I think it didn't work. And probably he should have played g5 here. I mean, I think he played g6 very quickly. And I mean, at least after g5, I don't win material immediately, because g6, rook f7, from here on, I felt like the position might actually be just lost at this point. I mean, I was just here. I had planned to go rook h1, b4, e4, but actually the issue is that now I will take this pawn with check, but I can't save my bishop here.
Oh, no.
So I was, kind of happy to not have fallen into that. But yeah, bishop e7. And I think from here on it was kind of a relatively clean game. Of course, he was trying to do something, but I mean, in general, I feel like it would be normal if this position was already lost. Yeah.
Do you feel like having the longer game is putting you in some disadvantage towards the other players? For example, today David Navarra played a draw very quickly against Bogdan Daniel Diak.
It can be, but I kind of relatively often play some long games.
Yes,
I think for me it's okay. We have some time until tomorrow for the blitz, and I think it's also normal that for blitz, of course, you can't prepare like 14 times, so you basically just have to know your repertoire and you will play well. And I think I will just try to get my energy for tomorrow.
So now you're back to 2700. Does it mean something to you?
I mean, I've been going up and down for quite some time. I mean, it's nice to see that, actually it's way tougher to win the points back than to lose them, which is, yeah. So it's nice, but it's not like the first time I crossed 2700, that's for sure.
How you're enjoying Biel? You're playing here every year. What do you like? Something specific? Maybe some places in the town, maybe lake or...
Yeah, the lake I like very much, but I think it's more the format of the tournament. And also, of course, now that I won 2 games against 2 730 players in a row, I really am also happy with the way, not only the result, but also with the way that I'm playing. And, I think I'm also leading the tournament now, so I'm very happy so far.
After Biel, you're going to play in World Cup. How is important this tournament as preparation for the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can argue that it could also be too close because we play a lot of games and it could be tiring, but I think... for me, I like being in this kind of chess world, and for me, then I think, in the right setting to play well in the World Cup. At least I hope so.
And you're looking forward to tomorrow with Blitz?
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I think Blitz, my very first year went pretty badly, and from then on, it gradually increased in strength, my Blitz, and I just hope to do well. I mean, in Blitz, it's very tricky. Yeah, you can start losing or start winning, and also I think here, not only the field is very strong, but also many of them are specifically in bits very strong, so I'm sure it will be a very tough tournament.
And some viewers are asking what your day looks like now that you finished the school. Is it full of chess or mostly of chess?
Yeah, it's mostly chess, but now that I finished school, I'm also playing much more tournaments, which basically means that I don't have that much kind of free time. So, I mean, if I'm coming back from a tournament and I have only 3 days, let's say now, with the World Cup, I won't be able to just start training. Normally, it's more about, getting ready to play the next tournament, also relaxing, getting the energy, because, I mean, of course, it's important to be very well prepared, but in general, the preparation should be done when you have some time for it and not, in between tournaments when you need to focus on other things.
Now you're actually sole leader with, I think, 21 points. How does it feel?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, so for me, a classical is, of course, very important, and being on +2 after 4 rounds is, I think it's, one of the best results I've had in quite some time, so that's very good for me.
Thank you so much for your time. I wish you good luck tomorrow in Blitz.
Thank you very much.